أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم وفقنا وسائر المشتغلين للعلم والعمل الصالح بحق محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن عدوهم. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when a man assures another of sparing his life and then kills him, I renounce the killer even if the victim is an unbeliever. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله: من أمن رجلا على دمه فقتله. يعني أنا أمن واحد أقول له أنا دخيل دم عندك وهذا رجع قتلني، فأنا بريء من القاتل وإن كان المقتول كافرا. With the transaction, we reach to a new topic, that's conditions regarding commodity and what is obtained in exchange. Issue number 2100, the commodity which is sold and the thing which is received, exchange, should fulfill 5 conditions. That means each one of the commodity and the price should fulfill what? 5 conditions. Condition number one. Its quantity should be not by means of weight or measure or counting, etc. That means this commodity or this price, the exchange, should be known. I should know how much money that you are going to give me back for this phone, or if you sell this phone with another commodity, I have to know what is that commodity, its attributes, because each thing it has its price. You understand this? For example, if I bought, for example, 1 kilo date from Sheikh Ameer, and I told Sheikh Ameer that I will give you the exchange of this 1 kilo date, I will give him milk. I will give him back milk as a price, as exchange. Okay. Milk, what kind of milk? How much it is in weight? Because milk, they sell it either by weight or by a container, a bottle, a box. It depends. I have to know. If I do not know, the transaction is void. This is condition number 1. Condition number 2, it should be transferable. What does that mean? That means that we can carry it from place to another place. From place to another place, just like money, just like milk, just like meat. We can carry it. Animals, we can take it from this place to another place. It should be transferable. Otherwise, the deal will be void if it is not transferable. If it is not, just like what? Just like a piece of land. It is not a transferable. Just like a house. It is not a transferable, isn't it? It should be transferable, otherwise the deal will be void, except when a transferable object is supplemented to it. Sometimes for example, I bought a car, a brand new car from Sheikh Ameer, and I told him the exchange will be a piece of land, 100 meters of land here in Gantarat al-Salam, in this area, and also I will give him what? An old car. An old car. Old car can be transferred, okay? Or I'll give him, in addition, money. I'll give him 1 million IQDs. Is it acceptable? Yes, it is acceptable. But if the buyer can himself manage to find the thing that he has bought, even if the seller is unable to hand it over, the deal will be valid. This happens when, for example, if somebody or if my car has been stolen, and Sheikh Faiz is a police officer. Sheikh Faiz is a police officer. He came to me and he asked me, can you sell me your car, your stolen car? I told him, but I cannot hand my car to you. He said, never mind, I can find it. I know where it is. I'm a policeman, this is my job. Okay, but I will buy it with this amount of money. For example, 3 million Iraqi millions. I said, okay, give me the 3 millions and go and find the car. It doesn't matter. This transaction is in order, not void. Yes.
What about the land? Some lands were given to some people, but they did not give them the place. They only give them a code of this land, and this code were transferred from one to other by money, or as it he buy it from another one without knowing the exact place of his land.
You mean the government?
Yes, the government or some companies or some
Look, if it is belong to the government, it is a trustee, reliable, that you are sure 100% they are going to hand it to you, doesn't matter. But to buy it from companies, private companies, no, be careful.
No, the private companies or some people from these companies,
it is not allowed.
They gave me money for this code, and they told me that I never mind. They will take the land for themselves.
It is the same as the car.
Yes.
As the stolen car. I told you, it doesn't matter. Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. But if the buyer can himself manage to find the thing he has bought, even if the seller is unable to hand it over, the deal will be valid. For example, if a person sells a horse which has run away and the buyer can find it, and the transaction will be what? Will be valid, and there will be no need to supplement it with any transferable object. There is nothing to add to the commodity. Only just that the buyer, he can find the runaway horse. That's it. He will give me the money and he will go after it, because he said, I am able to find it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Huh? Not like the bird, not like the fish in water. Not like the bird, not like the fish in water. The bird and fish in the water, they cannot catch them. But the horse, the car, okay, they can find them. They can, especially those people, they are specialists. It is their specialty. Is this understood, Shaykhana? Number 3, the details of the commodity. It means the attributes, the description of the commodity, and the thing accepted in exchange, the price or the money or the thing which is in exchange, which influence the minds of the people in deciding about the transaction. It means those people maybe like it, they don't like it, they pay more money, or they are not going to pay more money, must be clearly described. That means all the details or the description of the commodity which it has affected or affected the price of the commodity, it should be what? It should be known by both of the sides, the seller and the buyer. Number 4, the ownership should be unconditional, in a manner that once it is out of his ownership, the forsakes all his rights over it. That means the ownership, he is able to sell and buy his property. That means he is not what we call it in Arabic. No, ليس محجورا عليه. محجور عليه, it means that this person, he owes money for somebody else, but he cannot pay back their money. So the Hakim Shar'i, the jurist, is controlling all his property and is taking his property from him, sell it and give back the money of the other people. Have you got this? ها شيخ فاز. شيخنا مو يصادرها. We cannot say he is going to take it away from him, but he is going to take it from him in order to pay back the loans of the other, the credit of the other people, of the creditors. Okay, give them back. And the rest we will give it back to him. مصادر يختلف, كلها ياخذ. هذا المحجور أنا مطلوب إلك, مطلوب السيد فلاح, مطلوب الشيخ عامر, وعندي أملاك بس ما عندي منا كاش أرجع لكم. تشتكون علي عند الحاكم الشرعي. الحاكم الشرعي يجي يسيطر على الأملاك مالتي, يعرضها يسألني عندك؟ تقول لا ما عندي. يعرضها بالمزاد, يبيعها ويظل يوفيكم إلى أن يوفيكم, يلا يتوقف عن البيع. ها؟ المفلس, مو مفلس, المفلس. احنا نفلسه because he has to pay money. Number 5, the seller should sell the commodity itself and not its profit. Condition number 5 is to sell the commodity itself. For example, not to sell its benefit. I'm not going to sell that you are going to live in this house for a month, a year, and at the end the house will come back to me. This is not a sell, this is a rental. هذه إجارة وليست بيع. البيع we mean to sell, it is the same thing will be transferred from my property, from my own to the other. The seller should sell the commodity itself and not its profit. Hence, if he sells 1 year's profit of a house, it will not be in order. As a sell, it is not in order. كبيع بيع الفائدة باطل. هنا شو يسموه العادة؟ الناس يقول هاي إجارة. إجارة المنافع. Renting the benefits, not selling the benefits. Excuse me. If he buys a carpet from someone and in lieu therefore gives him the profit of his house for 1 year, there is no harm in it. There is no harm in it. Details of these will come later. Issue number 2101. If a commodity is sold in a city by weight, like eggs, in Iran they sell it by weight. Imagine, yes, in Iran they sell it by weight and by number. Or measurement, just like a cloth, just like land. One should purchase that commodity in that city by weight or measure. Imagine that in Asfahan they sell the egg by weight and by number. If you like to buy egg by number, choose. If you like to buy eggs by weight, doesn't matter. Both of them in Asfahan. So you can sell them there either by weight or number, because it is something known right there. You cannot, for example, if it is only sold by number, you cannot sell it by weight right there. Ha, Sheikh?
But what about the nylon, I think, as it's called in Arabic, nylon? Mm-hmm. The merchant buy it as in weight, and sell it in measurement.
Shaykhana, if they bought it in jumla, as we said, as commodities, yes, big amounts, yes, they bought it, it is very known among the merchants, or among the merchants, it is well known, they sell it between them or among them by weight. But when they sell it individually, they sell it by meters. Is this good? If a commodity is sold in a city by weight or measurement, one should purchase that commodity in that city by weight or measure. But if the same commodity is sold in another city at sight, بالنظر, one can purchase it in that city at sight. هم بالنظر. يبيعوها بالنظر، يشتروها بالنظر. ها؟ مثل صبرة من القمح. صبرة يعني كوم قطر. أحسنتم، قطر. Issue number 2102. A commodity which is normally sold by weighing can also be sold by measure. Look, a commodity which is normally sold by weighing can also be sold by measure. For example, if a person wants to sell 10 kilos of wheat, he should fill a measure which takes 1 kilo of wheat and give 10 such measures to the buyer. That means if he bought what, or if he sell 10 kilos of sugar. 10 kilos of sugar. And the 1 kilo of sugar, we can fill a can. We can fill a can. And if this can full, that means there is what? There is 1 kilo in it. So I'm going to fill 10 cans of them and to sell them as what? As 10 kilos. As 10 kilos. Is there any more? No, doesn't matter. Because the 1 kilo is equal to full what? To full 1 can. Issue number 2103. If the transaction has become void because of the absence of any of the aforesaid conditions, all the 5 conditions except what? Except the 4th. Let's go back to the 4th condition. It was the ownership should be unconditional, غير محجور عليه. If the transaction has become void because of the absence of any of the aforesaid conditions, except the 4th condition, but the buyer and the seller agree to have the right of discretion over their exchange commodities, there is no objection of if they do so. Me and Sheikh Ameer. Now, I sell my phone to Sheikh Ameer. Then, and Sheikh Ameer, he gave me 2 million IQDs. Then we discover that this phone is not what? Is not mine. Is not mine. No, not like this. I have to find another excuse. Then okay, I sell what? I sold him a land. I sold him a land. And in exchange, he also gave me the price as a land, another land. All right? Both of them, they are not transferable. Without what? Without adding money to the land. Without adding extra money to the land. Now, the transaction is void, isn't it? But what we did, I am the owner of the land, he has it. And he is the owner of the land that I have it right now. Now I gave him a permission to do with the land that he has, which I gave it to him, to do whatever he likes. And in return, he also gave me the permission to do with the land that I have it the same thing. That means I have a permission to sell it, to buy it, to build on it, to do whatever I like. Is this transaction void or valid? The transaction is void. Pay attention. The transaction is void. But I have the permission to do whatever I like with the land that he gave me. And he has my permission to do whatever he likes with the land that I gave it to him.
Just like a gift.
So we reach to issue number 21.4. The transaction of a waqf. The transaction of a waqf. You understand what does it mean, waqf? We explained that before. The transaction of a waqf property is void. We cannot sell the waqf. However, if it is so much impaired or is one or is on the verge of being impaired that it cannot be possibly used for the purpose for which it was dedicated. Like what? Give us example. Like if the mat of a masjid is so torn. مزقت شقق هاي السجادة الحصيرة مع المسجد شققت. That it is not possible to offer prayer on it. It is not possible to pray on it. It can be sold by the trustee or someone in his position. This mat can be sold to a trusty person, okay, or someone in his position. And if possible, as a precaution, its sale precedes the exchange, the money in return, the exchange in return, the thaman, the price, should be spent on the same masjid. Should be spent on the same masjid. Anything in the masjid. And it is better if you can spend it for the same purpose, that will be better. Yes.
I think it's just the same like rebuilding or renovating the masjid. So we use the bricks. I think we already talked this.
Yes. Yes, you are right. Its sale proceeds should be spent in the same masjid for a purpose akin to the aim of person who originally waqfed it. And this go back to whom? To the people whom the what we call it, the person who made the waqf for this for which purpose? For example, it is waqf for the musallin, it is waqf for the scholars, it is waqf for Zuwar Imam Hussein. It's better to be in the same purpose, not for the other purpose. Yes, Sheikh Ahmed. Yes, even their kin. Doesn't matter. Even their kin. If it is originally the waqf, it is for their kin. If it is the waqf, it is for their kin. So why not? Issue number 2105. When serious differences arise between the persons for whom waqf is made, they start to argue, and their argument, it becomes to its climax. They either maybe hurt each other, maybe they killed each other, they will complain each other in the police station. Such thing happened. When serious differences arise between the persons for whom waqf is made, to the extent that it may be feared that if the waqfed property is not sold, property or life of some person is endangered. Some fuqaha, this is not the opinion of Sayyid Sistani, this is the opinion of the other fuqaha. Some fuqaha have ruled that the property may be sold off and the sale proceeds be spent for the purpose akin to the object of the person who originally made the waqf. This is the opinion of the fuqaha. Have ruled that the property may be sold off, يبيعون, and the sale proceeds by spent for a purpose akin to the object of the person who originally made the waqf. But this is the opinion of Sayyid Sistani. But this rule is not devoid of ishkal. This rule is not devoid of إشكال. لا تخلو من إشكال. هذا أحوط وجوبا, an obligatory precaution. But if the person who made waqf made a condition that it be sold when advisable, then there will be no objection to it being sold off. That means if the waqf himself, the person who make this waqf, he make what? He has written a condition that if such thing happened, in this case, you should go back to whom? You should go back to advisable person. Advisable person, and to take his opinion what to do with this situation. Issue number 2106. There is no harm in buying and selling a property which has been leased out to another person. However, the leaseholder will be entitled to utilize the property during the period of lease. And if the buyer does not know that the property has been leased out, or if he purchases it under the impression that the period of lease out is short, he can cancel the transaction when he comes to know the true situation. What do we have here? Here we have, I bought a house. I bought a house, and I think this house is what? Is empty. Is empty. But it's very clear after I bought the house that this house is what? Is lease. What does it mean, lease? Without benefit. I cannot have its benefit right now. That somebody is living in it, is renting it for a year. So I bought this house, but without benefit, and the benefit which I can have it after a year. يعني اشتريت هذه المنزل أو هذه الأرض واشتريتها خالية من المنفعة. منفعتها راح تجيني بعد سنة. I bought this land or this property, but I cannot use it now. I discover I cannot use it now. Why? Because there is a usurper in it. Or the old owner, he rented for somebody for a year, and this is the first month of the year. You understand this? لا مأجرة. اي اشتريت بيت وقاعد بيه مؤجر. انا ما ادري بيه. مو خالي من المنفعة. خالي من المنفعة. ما اقدر استفاد منه. Okay, in this case, what should I know? There is no harm in buying and selling a property which has been leased out to another person. Look, it is leased out to the rental person. Can I sell it or buy it? Yes, doesn't matter. For example, I know this house is rented for a year. I know it. I am the buyer, I know it. And the owner, he already told me that this house, it is rented for a year. For a year. And this is the first month. And I took the money. If you want to buy this house, you should wait for a year until you take the house. And I accepted the transaction. Is it halal or haram? It is void or not? Yes, it is valid, it is halal. and the transaction is what? Is in order. Is this understood? والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم ولعن عدوهم